how does Feldenkrais help you rewire your brain? That's what we're going to discuss on this episode of Let's Get Real TV with Sarah McAllum. So who are we? I am Angela McMillan. I'm a digital marketing coach for embodiment business professionals, and I am the host of the Let's Get Real Online Movement Festival. Before I introduce my guest, I'd like to acknowledge that the land that I stand on is the traditional owners, the Kaurna people, the traditional owners, and I respect their spiritual relationship to this country. And stay tuned to the end for a special giveaway and find out more about the festival. So today I'm chatting with Sarah McAllum, and her title for her festival presentation is Mind Your Movement, How Feldenkrais Rewires Your Brain. Welcome, Sarah.
Cool. Thanks, Angela. Lovely to be here.
It really does take a lot of courage to speak on the stage, both virtually and in person. So thank you so much for joining the festival team.
I'm really excited to. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And people need to know this stuff.
Would you like to share a little bit about yourself and maybe about me?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Sarah McAllum. I'm based in Napier, New Zealand. I'm a Feldenkrais practitioner and movement coach working in person and online. And yeah, I'm excited to be part of the festival with Angela, who is an awesome digital marketing coach and a fitness inspiration, as it turns out.
Yep. Are they bigger yet? So our festival is happening from the 10th to the 15th of March. The box office is open now with early bird tickets being today, the very last day for $7 tickets. So save yourself $4 and go and grab one of our tickets. I'll pop the link in the chat in a little bit. We also have some free Feldenkrais lessons happening daily. So just 20 minutes of your day, you can come in and actually experience what Feldenkrais is like. And today we have Sarah's lesson, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. And that is for free. So you don't have to purchase a ticket to the festival to come and try the lessons first, and then you'll feel wonderful and want to purchase a ticket, won't they, Sarah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So who would you like to see in the audience of your presentation? Who's going to be helped the most by listening into your topic?
Yeah, I think that anybody who is interested in finding out a little bit more about how the brain works and what's actually happening behind the scenes, because when we're doing, it's particularly focused on the awareness through movement classes, because when we're there, we're talking about, like we're kind of moving your body and your brain. And a lot of people don't really understand what's actually happening and what that really means. And this idea about neuroplasticity and the brain's ability to change, and that, we have an internal body map in our brain, and that we're working with our kinesthetic sense to help to develop that. And I think that it's just a really powerful thing to realize, because especially if you're somebody who struggles perhaps with movement, or you feel like you're behind the 8 ball, which was definitely me. I didn't really like movement or exercise growing up. It was always kind of like, oh, it's too hard. I'm not going to be any good at it. And, knowing that my brain is involved in the process was like this massive revelation. So, yeah, I just like to have a little bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes so people kind of get it a little more. And understand that magic.
I think that this is one of the fundamental presentations in the festival, because you're unpacking what's actually going on. So I'm very excited for your presentation. There's a few of us in the chat. Dorothy says hi, so glad to be here. Patricia.
Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Patricia.
And they're both on the panel presenter as well. So thanks for joining us, ladies. So why did you choose to unpack this topic? There's so many topics you could have chosen.
Yeah. Again, I think it's just something that for me, it was something that I didn't understand, because I was like, why is this working? Why does this work, and why is it different from other exercise classes? And the results that we experience, or the things that actually happen in a class, is just unpacking that and knowing that it's not some kind of magic trick or secret. It is really actually your brain in action. And the cool news is that anybody can access that. And so you don't need to start in any one place. You can just start where you are and work from there.
Yeah, great. Patricia's comment is so relevant right there. The brain is so interesting.
The brain is so interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It really is.
So we have 9 presenters, and each presenter is presenting on their topic of choice around neuroplasticity and how it can impact your life, and then offering an actual experience to take away. So in Feldenkrais, we call them awareness through movement lessons. There's some presenters that aren't doing an awareness through movement lesson, but something different. So come and find out what that is. But we're actually showing you practical tools that you can use, because the buzzword is neuroplasticity. Well, what actually is it, and how does it work, and how can I incorporate it into my life? That's the focus of our festival. So it's happening from March 10th to 15. Tickets today are $7, but full price tomorrow. So go grab a ticket now. Actually, I'll drop the link in the chat now. Do you want to say anything else, Sarah, while I find the link to share here? Here we go.
I was just going to share one of my favorite Feldenkrais quotes. I have quite a few, actually. And one of them is, I'm not after flexible bodies, but flexible brains. And I think the really interesting part about that comment is that Feldenkrais understood that our brain was working and changing before the neuroscience and all of the evidence, if you like, started to catch up with it. So I kind of like to think that Feldenkrais was talking about neuroplasticity before it was cool.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's such a buzzword now. And I did ask the presenters, find some research to back up what we're sharing, because it's out there. There's still very limited research in Feldenkrais, but there's some out there. So I'm really excited to hear what the research says. And today we are blessed with a lesson from Sarah, one of the movement lessons. What was it called again, Sarah, the one we're doing today?
The one today is, it's a really beautiful one to help release your hips. If you experience a lot of tightness around your hips, I think I've called it something like, a runner's tight hip release, but it benefits anybody. So even if you would never dream of running and that's not really your jam, definitely it's a really nice one, even if you sit for long periods of time, or also get that tightness around your hips when you're walking. I think, again, that's a really common issue for a lot of people. So it's one of my favorite little go-to movements that I do, whether or not I'm planning on a run.
Yeah, and what we're doing is we, the team, are trying out, doing these lessons beforehand. So here's some of what the team said about your lesson, Sarah. I'd like to say that she had just been doing some tap dance, and it was so helpful for her feet to feel much better in her hips and legs. So if you're doing tap dance, you want to feel better there. It's fascinating to notice the change of contact with the floor, the change in the hip joints, and how the legs felt on the floor afterwards. So just a few comments there. And you have a special gift for the audience. Would you like to talk about what that is?
So my background is I used to be an office worker for many years. And so I know very well what it's like to sit for hours at a time. And I know standing desks are all the new rage, but they're not always necessarily the answer to being more comfortable at work. So I've created just a little guide, the Busy Person's Guide to Better Sitting Posture. And it's just got a couple of little movements that you can do and some awareness tips. And actually, I've had some feedback from people who are horse riders who also find that really helpful, because of course they need to be comfortable in the saddle. So
Right.
yeah, it will benefit many people, and even people who drive for long periods and do long commutes, just being that little bit more comfortable, because sitting is part of our life, and I think that we can learn to do it in a healthier and better way.
Nice. Yeah. So I've just dropped the link there for everyone. Gosh, we got lots of giveaways on this call. Free movement lessons, how to sit more easier. Thanks for joining me, Sarah. I'll see you in a few
That's
minutes
awesome.
on our coaching
Yeah.
call. Yeah. And yeah, make sure go grab those tickets today, everybody. And we'll see you next week for another week of Let's Get Real TV. Bye for now.
Cool. Thanks. See ya. Thanks, Angela. Bye, everyone.
Bye.